With such an extensive ensemble, it shouldn't come as a surprise that The White Lotus Season 3's cast includes a welcome reunion for one of HBO's greatest mystery shows from the 2010s. The all-star cast of The White Lotus Season 3 features several alums from hit HBO TV shows, including The Gilded Age's Carrie Coon, True Detective's Michelle Monaghan, and The Righteous Gemstones' Walton Goggins. The 2025 season also includes a reunion for Max's 2022 true crime drama The Staircase, which starred the Ratliff family's Saxon and Victoria actors Patrick Schwarzenegger and Parker Posey. As of The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 7, the introduction of Shritala's husband Jim Hollinger, whom Rick accuses of killing his father, creates yet another TV show reunion. Jim is portrayed by Scott Glenn in The White Lotus Season 3's final 2 episodes. While Glenn is better known for his film career with movies like Urban Cowboy, The Silence of the Lambs, and The Right Stuff, the actor has also starred in some recent hits on the small screen. For instance, he played an increasingly important role in HBO's 2014 supernatural mystery show co-starring the White Lotus Carrie Coon. Scott Glenn and Carrie Coon both starred in HBO's The Leftovers before The White Lotus Season 3. The White Lotus Season 3 is Scott Glenn and Carrie Coon's second HBO show together. Before both joined the cast of The White Lotus Season 3, Laurie actress Carrie Coon and Jim actor Scott Glenn starred in HBO's The Leftovers. Coon played a main role in all 3 seasons of The Leftovers as Nora Durst, a woman who loses both of her children and her husband in the Sudden Departure, a mysterious event in which 2% of the world's population suddenly and inexplicably disappeared simultaneously. Meanwhile, Scott Glenn played the recurring turned main role of Kevin Garvey, Sr., the father of Justin Theroux's main character and Nora's love interest, Kevin Garvey. Though The Leftovers maintains critical acclaim, it's often overlooked among HBO's best TV shows. From incredible performances by actors like Coon, Theroux, Glenn, and Amy Brenneman to thought-provoking philosophical themes and a compelling overarching supernatural mystery, it's a fantastic HBO title that deserves more recognition today. With cast members Scott Glenn and Carrie Coon being reunited in HBO's own The White Lotus, The Leftovers will hopefully receive another wave of appreciation nearly a decade after its 2017 finale. Scott Glenn and Carrie Coon's White Lotus roles are very different from their Leftovers characters. Laurie and Nora and Jim and Kevin Sr. are very different. While they're in another HBO show together, Scott Glenn and Carrie Coon's The White Lotus characters aren't reminiscent of their The Leftovers roles. In the 2014 show, Carrie Coon's Nora was very self-loathing and cynical, but was also incredibly strong, driven, and, at times, quite blunt in her interactions. That isn't necessarily the case for The White Lotus Laurie, who is gossipy, very sensitive, and standing up for herself in a more passive-aggressive manner. Meanwhile, Nora wouldn't be afraid to confront Jacqueline and Kate about talking behind her back, and wouldn't let herself remain in a toxic dynamic like that. Though much less is known about Jim in The White Lotus, what we do know sounds very different from The Leftovers. Kevin Garvey, Sister Jim, is an extremely powerful businessman who seems close to his family, but is implied to have ruthlessly had people killed in the past to get what he wants. Meanwhile, Kevin Garvey, Sr. struggled with mental illness and was the former chief of police. Kevin was unpredictable and potentially dangerous, similar to The White Lotus Jim, but for very different reasons, becoming one of The Leftovers' most redemptive, emotionally compelling, and thematically complex characters.